Hey, Pastor Steve Waldron. I hope you're having an incredible day or night in Jesus. I want to talk to us a little bit about the intoxication of college. Now, that being said, I did want to say the ubiquitousness of online college takes away from a lot of this. And so if you're taking classes online, it's not going to really have the same effect as you going to Georgia Tech, University of Georgia, Georgia Southern, University of Alabama, University of Wisconsin, Minnesota, UI, any of these things, the beautiful campuses in the Northeast, incredible college campuses there, the campuses in California, on and on, basically in every state of the union. And so it's not to demean online education. I think it can be done extremely effectively. But the intoxication of college is when you get out of high school and you go to these places that are huge and you're talking to educated people that this is all they do for a living is study a certain field, a certain endeavor, a certain literature. It's just something that's overwhelming the senses. And then you're presented with books to read that maybe you've never read before, and they're bringing various narratives and mountaintops of things, of various literature from around the world or various mathematical formulas that you're just like, wow. And you're talking to people who know what quadratic formulas are, quadratic equations are. They know what certain mechanical engineering terms are. They're advanced in their fields of study far beyond you are, and in almost every case. And it's like, wow, this is incredible. And so there's an incredible intoxication that comes with that. The knowledge bump gets scratched, so to speak, and it's like, well, this is a foul, and you tend to trust them because they're the most educated people you've ever talked to and been exposed to, far more educated usually than your high school, middle school teachers, even though not to demean the incredible education, the work they do. They need a lot more support than they get. They're wonderful, wonderful people for the most part. And so in any field of endeavor, you're going to have some that aren't. But you're just listening to all this. And then there's that sense of freedom, and there's weekend parties, and it's just, it's a rite of passage in your life. And it's an intoxicating experience. And you tend to have some hubris. You tend to think that you've solved the world's problems, that if everything would just be done through these various theories that are presented so often in college, then the world would be a better place if we could just vote a certain way. And it tends to, you have a certain worldview, and then when that's challenged, you get very angry because you've just built that worldview. It's just been presented to you. And it's just like the matrix finally fits, and now somebody's trying to take away the matrix, and then anger gets involved. And so I'm not talking about getting drunk at college. I'm talking about the intoxication of the entire college process of going on campus and learning. I'm not usually talking about people that are having to work 40 hours a week with that whole process. People that are there, maybe a lot on athletic scholarships, other type scholarships, are working 20 hours a week trying to make ends meet, these kind of things. And it's a deal. And once you've done 2 or 3 years, and there's a lot of self-reinforcement with that, and our culture will reward you. You're doing great, stay in school, get your degree, and our culture look at it monetarily. Of course, there's people who never finished high school that are multimillionaires, but overall, you just look at the graphs. People who have a college education overall make more money than people who don't. There's exceptions. We understand all of that. And so there's a huge self-reinforcement mechanism in there as well. and you're lauded for it. Most people don't say, well, that was dumb to get a 4-year degree, unless you got it in some, esoteric discipline that, nobody knows about and you're never going to earn a living with or something. But, people are like, and there's a lot of companies that require a 4-year degree or have in times past, even if it's not in the field that you're going in, because they say it shows stickability, it shows completion, that you're able to complete tasks, and you have perseverance involved. And so there's just a lot there. And so it's an intoxicating process, but it can be intoxicated with Babylon. You can learn error, you can learn falsities, you can ridicule the Bible, ridicule things about God and creation, and never hear another side adequately presented, only presented in pariahs and straw men and this type thing. And it can have the pleasures of sin for a season, but at the end it robs your soul. And so no true knowledge comes from the Word of God. It is withstood scrutiny, will withstand scrutiny. We've got over a couple thousand podcasts out on biblical archaeology today. There's a lot of great books on apologetics, a lot of great YouTubers on apologetics, and Daily Dose of Wisdom, among others. So God bless you. Don't get intoxicated with Babylon. Fall in love with Jesus, the giver of truth. Bye-bye.